All right, my name's Will Ramsey. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm a junior at Millard North, and I run cross country as well as track. Um, I mainly work in the community with what youth can do, doing various projects to better how students' voices are heard and like represented. I probably got started, oh gosh, August or September. I reached out, and then they had I just reached out on Instagram DM, and then they had a formal new members thing probably in September, and that's when I joined officially. And we've been working on the whole school starting during a pandemic and how everybody's responded to that, both the staff, the teachers, students, and the parents, and that's what we're doing right now. I think it can have many different definitions. It can be simply I'm white and you're a person of color, I'm better, or it can be like it can be legislation and policies that favor white people over people of color. I think it has many different definitions, but that's what I think it is. I define it as the privatization of the means of production, and pretty much it favors the rich at the expense of the poor. Like it takes from the poor to give to the rich. I think it can be, but not. I think it can be and often is, but it doesn't transparently relate. Um, a good example I think is like privatized prisons. Like, I think that kind of relates, but it doesn't. If you're a capitalist, it doesn't mean you're white supremacist, and if you're white supremacist, it doesn't mean you support capitalism. I don't think it's transparent. Um, I think the police in the United States and Omaha needs to be defunded and reorganized. Like allocating the part of the $100 billion budget to mental health resources, domestic violence prevention therapy, social work, etc. Like you could stop all the crime and the violence in the first place instead of punishing everybody, mainly people of color, that are doing this because their communities don't have money, they don't have opportunities, etc. Like I think it's 44 to 50% of people incarcerated will go back within a year. Like, the system doesn't work. It punishes them, but it doesn't teach them how to go back into society and live a meaningful life like most other developed countries. And it often fuels the privatized prisons. I know that just in general, Omaha is one of the most redlined cities in America. Like there are very, very distinct areas um, relating to your wealth and your race. Um, I think I don't know a lot of local history, and that's part of the problem. I think I didn't even know who Malcolm X was until this past summer. Like I was never taught that in school, but and then the whole Kenneth Jones thing that just happened, and then this couple nights later, the mass shooter that is still alive. I don't see a lot being done with a conservative mayor, congressman, and governor, but I think conversations like this and organizations like What Youth Can Do are how things will eventually get done. And I'm hopeful with the election of Joe Biden that some things will change.